Hey guys, and welcome back to another book review. Today's book is The Homecoming by Andrew Pyper. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago I read The Demonologist by Andrew Pyper, and this is his newest book. This came out in 2019, so it's very fresh and new for him. And I honestly bought it because of the cover. I just really thought the orange and green undertones were really pretty. I liked the cabin scenery. I just thought the cover was really attractive. That's why I picked it up, and I decided that the plot was interesting enough that I would give it a go. So let's read the plot, and then I'll let you know the feelings that I have about this book. Every family has secrets, but secrets can be a real killer. After the death of their absentee father, Aaron and Bridge Quinlan travel to a vast rainforest property in the Pacific Northwest to hear the reading of his will. There they encounter their mother and troubled sister Franny and are shocked to discover the will's terms. In order to claim their inheritance, they must remain at the estate for 30 days without any contact from the outside world. The Quinlans soon learn their family has more secrets than they ever imagined. Revelations that at first inspire curiosity, then fear. Why does Bridge have faint memories of the estate? Why did their father want them to be sequestered there together? And what is it they feel pulling them out into the dark heart of the woods? Let me give you a rundown of the plot. So the Quinlan's father has just died. He was a very absent father, not really there. Didn't really show them affection, was working a ton. So they're all very just whatever about his death. It's different for all of them. They all feel very different things. So Aaron is the main character, and he arrives with Bridge, who is the youngest sister and the one he's the closest to. And then their mother and Franny are there waiting for them. They show up to Bell Fountain, which is a 600-acre property with a huge castle mansion that their father owned that they had no recollection of. They didn't know anything about this property, but it's where they are going to be read the will. They find out that he's left $3 million, plus the whole property is worth about $27 million, which is a lot of money, and they're all pretty shocked because they don't know what their father did. He was very secretive. They have no idea what his business is. They don't know anything, so they're very shocked at the amount that they're told. It's very surprising for them. The estate and the money is to be shared between all of them equally, only if they stay 30 days at Bell Fountain. They are not allowed to use their phones. They are not allowed to use the internet. They are not allowed to leave the property. They're not allowed to do really anything. They just have to stay in the confines of this property, or their share will be forfeited, and then the rest of the family can divide the other shares between them as well. Bridge, the younger sister, tells Aaron that their dad has taken her here before, and she doesn't remember why, and I'm pretty sure she was 5. She's 14 currently. And so she was very young, and they don't really know why she was there, or what she was doing there. She just remembers being there. So let me give you a rundown of the characters. Franny, the older sister, is a recovering drug addict, and she lost her son. Bridge is 14, and Aaron and her are the closest, and he's basically a surrogate dad for her. They're very, very close. They pretty much are the closest out of the entire family. And Aaron is a surgeon who likes to fix things. He became a surgeon because he wanted to fix and help people, and Bridge is basically his only reason for living. He says that multiple times in the book, that Bridge is the only thing he looks forward to pretty much ever. Like I said before, their dad was very absent. It was like he was never really there. He was just cold, distant, didn't really love them. It was just like he wasn't even part of the family. All the kids have their own issues because of their dad. They have emotional issues. Franny's a drug addict. I mean, they're all just dealing with their father in very different ways, and it's because of the lack of interest he had in them or in his family. So basically, after you meet the family and they start their 30 days in there, they start seeing things in the forest, and this is pretty much where the book takes off and starts running with the whole plot, and you find out a lot more things. I'm not going to go into them because then it ruins the entire story, and I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but it starts picking up speed as soon as they start seeing things in the forest. This book is honestly full of twists. I had no idea any of these twists were coming. I probably should have at some point, but I was just too confused. He throws a lot of twists at you constantly. I mean, they're just coming and coming and coming, and you kind of blindsided most of the time because you were thrown off by a previous twist, and then there's a new twist that comes, and then you're thrown off that twist, and then another twist comes, and you just keep getting thrown off, which is great because then you're not able to guess things, which I like because I don't want to guess the ending of a book. The dysfunctional family trope that's involved in this book is something I think a lot of people can relate to because most people have dysfunctional families. So it's kind of easy to get invested in their lives and their family dynamic because you want them to mend ties, you want them to get along, you want them to feel more connected just because I think it's in our nature to want families to be close. And so the dysfunctional section of this book is kind of where you get attached to the characters a little bit more. I would not consider this book scary. I do think it is a page turner. You need to know what's happening because it keeps leading you down this trail and not giving you the answers you need, so you keep having to flip the page to figure out what's going on. So I wouldn't say it was scary, but it was intriguing and fascinating, and it kept my mind questioning what was happening next. It has a real melancholy feel to it. All the characters are damaged, and you kind of just feel bad for them and for their family and their lives and how they turned out and stuff like that. You just feel really sad reading the book. At least I did. I felt sad. It made me feel melancholy and sad and made me want them to work everything out. This book is not at all what I expected from the plot. When I first read the plot, I thought it was kind of like a reality TV show like Big Brother, where you're all shoved into a thing to win money. And I thought it was going to take a really different turn than it did. More like, I don't know, kind of like a comedy-ish horror. Not funny, but like more insane, like kind of like the reality TV aspect. I thought it was going to be like Big Brother or something where they're all competing and they have to fight and like win money, and that's not at all what this is like. This is a very different kind of horror than I've ever read. At least I've never read anything in this genre. It probably isn't new, but it's not something I've ever read, and this is a more futuristic dystopian type of horror. And that's all I'm gonna say because I could really give a lot away that I don't want to give away, but I do think it has that futuristic dystopian feel to it, which I actually liked. I didn't hate it. It just wasn't what I was expecting at all. Like I said, it keeps you intrigued from beginning to end. I was intrigued from the first couple chapters, and it kept me reading till the end because I had to know what was happening. This book starts with a mystery and then ends with a mystery. I really did like the ending. However, it leaves you with some questions, which actually makes me frustrated just because I don't like open-ended books. And this is just a personal preference. Obviously, I know some people love open-ended endings and open-ended books like that. I don't. I don't like to be left wondering how it ends. I like a very concrete final ending because that's just who I am. If it's not a concrete ending, then I spend too much time thinking about the book, and I don't like to do that. Like, I don't like to tear the book apart and really analyze it and get nitty gritty with it. I just like to enjoy the book as it is, and that's obviously personal preference. Again, some people love to analyze books. I'm just not one of those people. I like to take it at face value. It is what it is. That's just who I am. And open-ended endings like this really frustrate me because I don't like to be left with questions. I like to just have a very this is how it ends done, and I feel like this ending wasn't that for me. It was still a good ending and I enjoyed it and I liked how it ended. I wouldn't have changed the majority of it. However, there is parts that just left me frustrated and a little sad because it didn't give me a concrete ending and it made me upset. But again, personal preference. So if you like things like that and you like that mystery ending, you might like this because that's what it does. Overall, I actually really enjoyed this book. It's not what I expected at all. It's not even something I would have picked up for myself if I had known what it was going to be about. I would have automatically assumed that I didn't like it from how it went about, but I actually did really enjoy it. I think it's a very unique book. I personally haven't read anything like it, but again, I don't go into the futuristic horror genre, so, or maybe not even futuristic, but dystopian futuristic, I guess, but I don't dabble in that a lot. I stick to more realistic horror, as we've talked about before, but I did really enjoy this book and I thought it was really unique and it kept me intrigued the whole time. So that's all I have to say about this book. There's a lot more to it, obviously. There's a lot that goes into it, but I just can't go over all that, spoilers, and it just would ruin some things for you guys if you want to read it. Let me know if you read anything else by Andrew Pyper, if you have any recommendations, if you like any of his books the best. Yeah, let me know if you've read this book, obviously, what you thought of it. I'd love to know your thoughts down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and think about subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!